Good morning. It is about quarter of 2 in the morning. It's very dark, as you can see. Um, I am set up for what is hopefully my first automatic meridian flip using Sequence Generator Pro. Got it all set up. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'll put this on if it fails or if it succeeds, so this could be interesting. It is a beautiful clear night out here. Unfortunately, it is a full moon. Although if you come down, it is pretty dark. Hopefully you can see this a little bit. If you come down to my observatory, you can see I am doing the Sol Nebula and looking up this way, away from the moon. So hopefully it works okay. I'm using the L-enhanced filter. Works okay with the moon. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to crawl inside the observatory here. Try not to bump anything. Okay, I am inside. Hopefully I can go over this way so you can get some light on it. Alright, there's the computer set up in my bay here in my next dome. And as you can see, maybe not, I am pretty close to meridian flip. I have a very small amount of space here. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm not too worried about you seeing it, but there is a small amount of space right here. That's my limit. And according to Sequence Generator Pro, if you look down in this corner here, it says there's about 22 minutes before I reach meridian and it starts to flip. I got it set up so that if that gets to 5 minutes, since these are 5-minute exposures, if it gets to 5 minutes before the exposure starts, it will not start. So in other words, if there's 4 minutes left and it finishes an exposure, it'll wait those 4 minutes till after the meridian flip to start the next exposure. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I am doing the Sol Nebula. It's very dark, so single exposure, you don't see too much. I can see a little bit in there. And the nebula, that's off the computer screen, which is even worse. But everything's been working pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Like I said, I got about 22 minutes. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to start this video back up. As you can see, I got about 35 seconds left on my 5-minute exposure that's currently running. But down to the planet here, if you look at the planet icon, the Earth icon, I have 4 minutes left before meridian flip. So if things work correctly, when this exposure ends, Sequence Generator Pro should interrupt things and wait until that counter goes to the meridian flip before it does anything else. Now I'm going to turn the brightness of my computer up a little bit, just so hopefully I don't mess up my guide scope. Okay, so it does say delay for 1 second. The next frame is longer than the time to the meridian flip, waiting until meridian flip location is hit. So marvelous. I'm going to turn around and look at the scope here, and you can see a little bit more with the computer turned up. But as you can see, hopefully I am close to a peer collision, but I got about an inch, which works because it's not going to hit anything. But I'm going to let this run, unfortunately, for another 2 minutes and 58 seconds, just to see if this works correctly. I am not using my big Orion scope here. I'm using the Red Cat that's on top of it. It's kind of hard to see, and I apologize, but I'm in my observatory. It's kind of dark in here, and I like it that way. The only light I have is from the moon, which is full. As you can see at the very top of my Orion scope, and the moon's hitting it to the left of it. And we're going to let this run. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I've got about an inch before the pure collision. I'll tell you, you sit out here at night watching things like that, I will never get used to that dome motor. It scares the bejesus out of me every time. I'm sitting here perfectly quiet, and then the dome motor adjusts, and every time at this point I jump about an inch out of my seat. It just gets very quiet out here in my backyard. You're right. And you can fast forward this on the video. I've got about a minute and 37 seconds. The exposure window went away, but I am getting around 110 5-minute exposures. I let this run all night long. It's about, it's 2:10 now. So I got about 3 hours left. So I'm going to double check that I got 36 exposures left. I may get more than 110, but it'll be pretty close. I think I got 79 now. There's a chance it might cloud up towards morning, but I love this thing. I can go back to bed. If it clouds up, the guide scope fails, and everything just goes to the home position and shuts down, so I don't even have to worry about it. 41 seconds, but I'm very happy with Sequence Generator Pro. It controls everything, all my cameras, my dome motor. It really does control everything. It's so nice just to set this up. And let it run. This is my first automated meridian flip in 15 seconds. So I was a little worried about letting it run on its own, making sure, I wanted to make sure it worked and I didn't get any pure collisions. And it should be time here any second now. There it goes. Okay. I'm waiting to see what happens. Okay, it didn't flip. Oh wait, maybe it is now. Oh, it stopped. Yep, there it goes. It stopped the auto guider. Now the dome is rotating, the scope is flipping, as you can see. And the dome will move as it flips, but all right. And here comes my counterweights coming around. I'm kind of tight in here as the dome's spinning to keep position with the scope. And it's going to flip completely over. I'm going to flip around here. I got to kind of watch the other side of the pier here just to make sure everything's okay. I don't know if you can see here, but it is getting close. And it stopped. I am good. And dome is realigning with the scope. It still says it's performing slew because it waits until the dome. Another good thing about Sequence Generator Pro, it'll wait until the dome's in position before it does anything. Okay, so now it's doing the plate solve again. It's still waiting for equipment idle. That's what it does when it's making sure the dome is stopped. Okay, so now it's taking the plate solve picture. It'll probably take 2 or 3 different shots here, fail a couple times, which is okay, as long as it doesn't fail 3 times. You see that one did fail. It's a little bit off, so it's recentering, which is what it's supposed to do. It's moving the scope into the right position, and then it's going to take another picture, and then it's going to make sure it's where it needs to be. again, I haven't touched anything. It's doing all this automatically. Okay, one more try. If it fails again, I might have a problem, because I think I've got it set to 3. I should really move it up. Yeah, 3 attempts, max 3. So I should move that up, and I'm hoping it doesn't fail. Okay. Don't mess with me now. Be nice. Okay, I'm going to hit run again. So I do have to move that up. So it did give me the option, but that would have been a problem. I'm going to have to change my max attempts to a little bit higher. There it goes. Okay, so it did take 4 attempts. I'm glad I was here. So that would have failed if I wasn't here. So I'll have to raise it to 5, maybe 6 attempts, just to make sure it gets enough tries to get it to work. Okay, so now it's restarting the auto guider. I'll bring that up. Oh, it's too late. It's already done. And I'm going to hit OK, otherwise it'll just wait for 51 seconds. And we're off. So it started its next frame. And this is frame 80. So I have 30 more to go. And I could probably raise that to 36. I'm going to raise that to 36. The worst thing that can happen is the auto guider will start hitting the light and fail. So what I can do is go up here, and it allows you to do this while it's running. I'm just going to add 6 more exposures. That's the dome again. So now I'm going to have possibly 116 total exposures. And that is all I'm going to show here. So it worked. Very happy with it. And the only adjustment I will have to make is I'm going to, and I was thinking of doing this before and I didn't. Most times it plate solves in 2 tries. This one took 4. I think it's probably because it's at the meridian and, you know, the weighting of the scope and stuff like that may not be perfect. So it took a couple extra tries. All right, I hope that you found that interesting. Tomorrow morning, I'll start another quick video and show you how I have this set up in Sequence Generator Pro. Just so you see the settings I use to get it to flip automatically. Kind of cool, actually. It's a good feeling when you set it up and it all works and you sit here and watch it. It's kind of neat. All right, I'm going back to bed. Okay, so it's the next morning. I'll show you at the end of this what my picture looked like. It turned out pretty good of the Soul Nebula. I ended up getting about 8 hours of exposure, but I did promise to show you what settings affected the automatic meridian flip. So on Sequence Generator, if you go to Tools and open up the Equipment Profile Manager, I'll close that right now, and then make sure you use Auto Meridian Flip clicked, and then hit Set, and it says wait for meridian flip. You want that clicked, and that is basically if I take a 5-minute exposure and it's down to 4 minutes before the meridian flip, then it's going to do what it did last night, sit and wait until the meridian flip to start another exposure. That's kind of important. And then I also have Auto Center after meridian flip, which redoes the plate solve that I do have to go in and change and give it a couple more chances before it fails. But that's pretty much everything there. Now, minutes past meridian flip, you have to swing your mount as far as you can past 90 degrees. Mine is actually at 90 degrees where I feel safe. If I went much further, I would go pretty close to hitting my mount. So if it's 90 degrees, then you put 0 in there. What that's saying is at 90 degrees, it'll flip. If you can go past 90 degrees, you could put 1, 2, 3, whatever degrees you can go past if you want to do that. Also, if you're going to hit something on your mount beforehand, you could put minus 1, 2, 3 degrees, whatever amount of degrees, and then it'll switch before that. Now, my question on that would be, if you're going to use minus on one side and it flips, you're probably going to hit the mount after it flips, but I guess that's not necessarily the case. I got lucky. Mine is at 0, and it clears on both sides without any problem. So I just set it to 0, and as you saw last night, it did the meridian flip without any problem. And that's pretty much it for that. So I'm going to end the video here, and then I'm going to attach these 3 videos together and put the picture of my Soul Nebula after the end of it. Thanks.